Hello everybody, my name is Nightshade and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Elite Dangerous. You thought the series was dead, didn't you? Well, let me tell you this now, it ain't dead, and it's alive and kicking. Before I fill you in on everything that happened, let me tell you what we're going to be doing today. Our first objective today will be unlocking Felicity Farseer, and Felicity Farseer being pretty much the first engineer that you're supposed to unlock. To unlock this engineer, well, let me just backtrack a little bit and tell you that what Felicity does for you is that your frameshift drive allows you to jump between star systems, right? So unlocking Felicity will allow you to modify your frameshift drive and have it have a greater jump range. Now, why would we want a greater jump range on this ship, you might ask, since it's only a Type 6 transporter and it's really nothing special? Well, it's more for trade efficiency, because you want to spend as minimal amount of time as possible between like cargo runs and stuff. So that's why we're unlocking Felicity Farseer today to start off with. Anyways, I've got some explaining to do. I grew fatigued with this game for a little bit. It was around the time that the Thargoids had attacked their first set of stations, so I'd say about the time frame of December 14th to maybe mid-January. The reason was because I had just bought a Fertilance, which run me a good 30 or 40 million credits, and by the time I had bought it, I had no money left, and the problem with that is the modules that I wanted for the Fertilance build are expensive. And I just grew kind of tired of the game after a while due to repetitive grinding and just the gameplay flow of it. The loops weren't very fun to me. But since the first chapter of Elite Dangerous Beyond came out with, like, say, Galnet Audio. By the way, Galnet Audio is just, like, galactic news, but you will have this robotic narrator. I know it sounds bad, but the robotic voices are actually pretty nice, and you can just listen to it while you're hopping from system to system. It really helps with the immersion of the game, and the fixes to trading really help re-attract myself to this game. Another pretty big significant feature of Beyond Chapter 1 is the inclusion of the new material traders. What material traders will do for you is they essentially, let's say you're running short on a couple low-grade, low-rarity materials to engineer your modules so that you can make them better suited to what you're trying to do with your ship. You can then go on a Elite Dangerous database, like, let's say, Inara. Link for that will be in the description, by the way. And then you'll be able to look up systems with a specific type of material trader. Like, let's say, if you needed raw materials, you can go to a raw material trader. If you needed data signals, you can go to an encoded material trader. And what this does for you is it cuts down on some of the unnecessary grind time where you would need to just sit in hyperspace and just look on your comms panel off to the left in the contact section for rare materials. Like, there's still some of that with the grade 5 materials, obviously, but if you're just going for, like, grade 3 module upgrades and sometimes grade 4, time save is very, very noticeable, and that's a very good feature that they added that in, because you can use more of your time to do more productive things. Speaking of more productive things, our goal for the next couple of sessions here is to get our hands on the new Alliance Chieftainship, which, unlike the Fer-de-Lance, which will probably run you most of your money just on the ship alone, this one is actually pretty affordable, coming in at like only 19 million credits just for the base ship. And I think this was really smart of Frontier to do this. Like, it fills in the progression gap that you would normally have between the Vulture, which is like, I want to say 3 or 4 million credit ship, and then you have the Fer-de-Lance, which is this huge, unusual progression gap at like 35 or 30 million credits or something like that. It's just like a middle of the range ship which you can comfortably engineer with little trouble, and then you can start working towards a Fer-de-Lance. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go from a Vulture to a Fer-de-Lance. In fact, you could probably just go from Vulture to Federal Assault Ship or Federal Gunship, then to Fer-de-Lance. The reason why I tried going from Vulture to Fer-de-Lance is because the Federal Assault Ship and the Federal Gunship take rank grinding, and I don't want to do that since that's like a good couple of hours of my time right there. There was an event period to where you could just buy the Federal Assault Ship and the Federal Gunship without much trouble, but that's long past. I didn't like the Vulture all that much because it was kind of flimsy, and I know that it's more of an evasive ship than a tanky ship. I'm not saying that the Vulture is bad in any means, it's just that I didn't know how to use it properly. Yeah, I should really practice on evasive combat maneuvers a little bit more. After I get a fully engineered Chieftain anyways, then we can focus on the Fer-de-Lance. That's just the long-term goal. Let's get back to the here and now then. Now, what I'm doing is the process to unlock Felicity Farseer. I've already did the first prerequisite, which was to travel a certain amount of light years away from your home system, in which you will get a notification basically saying, hey, you're invited to go visit Felicity Farseer, go check her out. But once you go into the engineering panels on the bottom right in your... Yeah, it is bottom... No, wait, bottom left. I get my... Oh my gosh, I can't even... No, it is bottom right, yeah. It's on the status screen. Then you will see that you have one additional objective to complete to fully unlock Felicity, which was to bring 1 unit of meta-alloys. Normally you can find some meta-alloys out in various planets with Thargoid barnacles, and then you just have to shoot one of the trees that has a meta-alloy on it. You can tell if a barnacle tree has a meta-alloy on it because the fruit-like structure will be a little bit bigger than anything else there. If you don't want to go through the hassle of getting the coordinates down for a Thargoid barnacle planet, then you can just buy meta-alloys from Darnielle's Progress in the Maya system. Keep in mind that if you're fairly new to Elite Dangerous and you just have, let's say you have 500,000 credits, then a meta-alloy will run you at least 100k. Now, I tried to jump here from the system, but no, it was whining at me like, you're the thing excludes or exceeds the fuel capacity or whatever, so I just had to do a quick change of course. But anyways, yeah, just keep in mind that metalloys aren't the cheapest of things if you just want to buy it from Darnielle's Progress. I mean, you could go down to a Thargoid Barnacle and then acquire a metalloy for yourself if you want to save the 100k credits, but I just went to Darnielle's Progress and did it that way. Plus, if you do want to head out here as early as possible, I would recommend, like, not a top tier frameshift drive, but enough of a frameshift drive to where you can get there efficiently, and maybe a decent fuel scoop. Like, again, you don't need the top tier fuel scoop available, just one that'll get the job done, so you don't run out of fuel. So here we are, almost at Darnielle's Progress to buy the 1 unit of metalloys, and as you can see here, in a little bit I do get interdicted by a pirate. Yeah, I hate it when these random NPC pirates think they can interdict me out of Super Cruise. Like, I have nothing on me. Why would you want to do that? Pirates these days, I don't get them. Shouldn't be too hard. Like, I've noticed that when NPCs or AIs, or artificial intelligence, try to interdict you, they're not really smart about it. And unless it's like the police or something, you'll be just fine. And it's not like I'm hard to catch either. In fact, the Type 6 is a fairly slow ship, so I don't know what's the deal with them. So we're almost here at Darnielle's Progress to go ahead and buy our unit of metalloys. See, it didn't take very long. It was just maybe like a 10 or 11 jump trip to the Maya system from where I was at. So yeah, not very long. I'm debating on whether I should still keep in the auto dock sequences for this game, because the music that it uses is orchestral, and sometimes YouTube picks up on that and I get a copyright claim. We'll see how it works with this. If it's still copyright claims, then I'll just cut out the auto-docking sequences, and it'll just be me docking there. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that this orchestral music is copyrighted. We'll see, though. It's not like it's a threat to my channel or anything. It just means I can't make money off of the videos. But I'm in no position to make money because I only have 21 subs. Although the orchestral music is quite a nice touch when you're docking. And here we go. We're at Darnielle's Progress, so we can just go into the starport and buy ourselves some metalloys for Felicity, so that we can start engineering frameshift drives and other stuff and whatnot. Commodities market. Wonder where they get these metalloys from. Probably from surrounding planets in the system. Ooh, yeah, that's 124,000 credits. Prices will fluctuate depending on the demand for the metalloys, but this time it was a little more on the expensive side. Just checking to make sure that everything's good to go. Trade rank is only 39%. And here I do make sure, like, okay, I have the unit of metalloys, now we can get to work. It's indicate, so let's take a look on the galaxy map. And that's going to be a... Let's see here. It's gonna be a 17 jump trip, so... It's not too long, but it's still a decent chunk. I will see you guys when I get there.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, so we're finally at Decade. Let me tell you, you all weren't missing very much. It was just like 19 minutes of me jumping from system to system, fuel scooping eligible stars for more fuel just to make sure that I didn't run out. There's a reason why they call this space trucking. It's very relaxing. Let me just get that out of the way. Like, you have an awful day and you just want to sit down and relax, put on some music and play this game for a little bit. Like, it's not a boring game, not in the least. Like, there's plenty of stuff for you to do in this game. Combat, trading, buying new ships, customizing your ships. You name it, it's a whole entire universe. But here we are, almost at Farseer Incorporated with our unit of metalloys for Felicity to accept, and then we can start engineering our frameshift drive. Just took a little bit. With this game, you kind of have to have patience, which I have sometimes, other times I don't. But yeah, sometimes with this game, you'll just be trekking through space for a while. Although you could put on Galnet audio now that I think about it, and then just listen to that to kill some time while you're traveling through space. So it's something to do. Like, what I would really like them to do is maybe add an in-game radio, kind of like with what Fallout 4 did. I don't know if that would kind of break immersion of you just traveling through space and admiring what you see, but it'd be something to keep your attention for a little bit. Other than that, you can just put on like your favorite podcast and just chill for a little bit. Although there is ambient music in the background. Very therapeutic in nature, if I must say. Alright, so we're just about at Felicity's engineering workshop, but we're going to have to turn around a little bit since I messed up the trajectory of our approach. It's not a big deal, it's just you have to spend maybe a good 30 seconds to a minute reorientating yourself to get yourself properly lined up with the target. Just takes a little bit of elbow grease and maneuvering. This is probably my favorite part of planetary approaches because it's just so smooth. Like melted butter on toast kind of smooth. One of my favorite sounds is just the sound of you slowing down from your glide. Oh man, that just sounds so good. Like, I have to give Frontier big props for the sound design in this game. It's just phenomenal. Anyways, with the Galnet audio, I will give them brownie points to the fact that you're not just restricted to stations where you can just access the Galnet audio. Anywhere in the galaxy, anywhere in the Milky Way galaxy for that matter, you can access Galnet audio whenever you want. So that's just a big bonus. I should work on my skills with planetary landings so I don't have to use it as... I don't have to use the docking computer as a crutch anymore. Like, I can dock at most space stations just fine. It's just the planetary stuff that gives me issues. I'm on PS4, so controlling the ship is a little bit easier. Because you don't have all those keys to memorize and do all that. But I can't really say what's more efficient, PC or console in terms of controls. Here we are at Felicity's workshop, or Farseer Inc. as it's called. Go ahead and repair and restock. Well, not repair, but refuel. Select Engineer's Workshop and hand in our unit of metalloys. Go ahead and click Donate, and with that, we can now engineer our engines, frameshift drive, power plants, and sensors, although the main point is we can engineer our frameshift drive up to a grade 5 module, which is the greatest module upgrade that we can have. Like, different engineers specialize in different things, and in Felicity's case, she specializes in grade 5 FSDs, which arguably is one of the most important upgrades you can get, which will allow you to travel further into the galaxy and just explore, or in my case, get a more efficient trade business going. So previously you had to complete a grade to access the next level, but this time you only have to go to a certain point before the next grade is unlocked. I didn't realize it right away, but that's one of the improvements that was made to the engineers during Chapter 1 of the Beyond release. I think you just need to get the modifications circle there. Oh. Yeah, we just need the increased FSD range. I think I actually, instead of FSD range, I go boot time. That was a mistake on my part. But yeah, instead of going through all the little stages of your frameshift drive upgrade, you just need to go part of the way. See, like, you don't need to fill in that circle, because you see right there that grade 2 just got unlocked for the frameshift drive upgrade, which is nice. It saves on time, it saves on tedium, it's very clean, organized. But it looks like we've run into a problem, and that's we've run out of atypical disrupted wake echoes to engineer our frameshift drive with. Now, normally what you would have to do is just scan a bunch of ships and hope that you get atypical disrupted wake echoes, which can take hours upon hours just to get a few of them, but luckily with the new update, they added material traders, which just makes the process of acquiring the required materials to engineer your stuff all that much easier. So keep in mind that if you need a material trader, what you need to do is visit a station that has one, and you can't just filter a material trader out on the map, because, well, you have to visit that system first before it's bookmarked, or let's say in this case highlighted on the map. You just need to visit it first. So yeah, we're just going to have to go and look for an encoded material trader The best way to do this is just go onto a website like Inara, like pull out your phone or tablet or some other external device if you're playing on PS4, and then just look for a system with an encoded material trader, and then just go there and buy the atypical disrupted wake echoes that you need to engineer your frameshift drive, which is what we're going to do right here.
Landing gear retracted.
I checked on Inara, and it turns out that the closest encoded material trader away from Felicity's workshop was in Magnus Gateway in the Easy Aquari system. It's not that far of a journey, not like as far as Maya to Felicity's workshop, but shouldn't take very long. Anyways, once you're docked at the station, you can just go ahead and select Starport Services, and then go into Contacts, and then you should be able to find Material Trader. Now, how this system works is, let's say you need a couple grade 2 or grade 1 materials, and let's say you have a grade 5 material that is particularly rare. Then you can trade those down to whatever you need. I would really recommend that you, if you select a grade higher material to get a grade lower, do the material that you have the most of and don't think that you'll be needing for a little bit. In this case, trading 14 unexpected emission data gets you a bunch of, well, 21 in this case, atypical wake echoes. That's more than enough to engineer our ship for what we want to accomplish. So now it's just back to Farseer Inc. to further engineer our frameshift drive. Back again at the Felicity's workshop, or Farseer Inc. I should really pick one and stick with it. We have our atypical disrupted wake echoes, and now we can continue to engineer our frameshift drive. We don't need a grade 5 upgrade for this, since it's just a Type 6 transporter, but we probably just want a grade 3. Go ahead and finish that off. I think we have just enough to get to grade 3, or maybe not. Yeah. 'Cause we have 6 chemical processors, so that's definitely enough. And one more time. There we have it, grade 3. Although I should have just stopped at that point. And we just need to engineer our frameshift drive once. I just check out the experimental effects right before I do the engineering itself, but we can't do any of that because we need more materials. Go ahead and generate modification. Although I don't know why I paused here for a little bit. I was just making sure that I have what I need. Phosphorus is a fairly common material, so you can just go to a planet and then shoot some rocks, and then you'll get some phosphorus possibly. It's not that hard to come by. Alright. And with that, we get information on another engineer Jury Ishmak, so we might want to go and check that out a little bit. Now, this sudden jump cut was because I discovered that there was a community goal out in Reku, which it wants us to deliver CMM composites, robotics, and titanium. I started out delivering robotics, but I realized that it was by ton instead of like by value. So I just went with titanium instead, since they produced a lot of titanium. I went to Austin Station in, let's see here. The community goal is ended by now, but I just wanted to show you where I went to get the materials. Austin Station in the Maiku system. Now, participating in community goals will allow you to gain quite a lot of money, particularly in combat and trade community goals. So that's just how I'm going to get the money for the chieftain. I will see you get, well, I might as well show the first delivery run from Maiku. From Austin Station to Kenai Enterprise. It doesn't take very long. Ideally, when you're doing trade community goals, you want the closest system with the commodity that it's asking for, so you can be as efficient with your run times as possible. I'd say that a run between Austin Station and Kenai Enterprise would only take me like a good 7 or 8 minutes. If you like do it fast enough, maybe 5 minutes, but that's a little bit pushing it. Someone down in the comments can estimate that for me if they want to. So here we are docked at Austin Station, and we want to get titanium. Just a little tip for these community goals is you want the material that can be most easily produced by the station, and it's in high quantity. In this case it was titanium, because how these trade community goals work is the more tons you turn in, the more your reward tier will be. Like it goes top 100%, top 75%, top 50%, top 25%, and then top 10 commanders. And the higher you are on that tier, the more credits you will get as a reward when the community goal eventually expires. Community goals in this game run for about a week at a time, so you got plenty of time to get in there, deliver your stuff, or complete the objective that it wants you to do, and earn a decent amount of money. So, with that said, I will just cut to when I have the stuff delivered.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity. Landing
As we're docking, I just kinda want to recap what we did during this episode. So, we just unlocked Felicity Farseer for frameshift drive engineering, and we engineered our frameshift drive and started working on the community goal, which is now finished by this point. I ended up in the top 50%. But next time, hopefully, I should be able to gather the required funds to get myself a fancy new chieftain. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day, everyone. No, I'm not cutting this out. I'm making you watch me sell these commodities. Aren't I just evil? Anyways, I'll see you all later. Bye.